Today is June 9th, 2026. Of course, again today, some idiot screamed and called me a dirty word. Where'd you get it? Where'd you get your information, retard? You fucking retard, where'd you get your information? Because you actually looked me up, I have one traffic ticket from 1989. The whole thing's a scam. But did it stop him from calling me a dirty word? No. No. They're still stalking me and they're coming in places and they're rude and they need to get them all. They think it's fucking funny. Breaking in private homes, setting up body cameras. What is a jail sentence for an attorney if a husband hires him to stalk their wife in a private home, setting up body cameras without her knowledge or consent? Disbarment immediately, 5 to 20 years. What is a jail sentence for an attorney if a husband hires him to set up body cameras in a private home without stalking his wife without her knowledge or consent, taping in bathrooms, photoshopping and washing? Having men drug her for fake confessions and having beaten, raped under drugs, life imprisonment. They should have been arrested the first day. But where the first of the case, a little white man showed up. I woke up with a bruise the size of a lemon on my leg. Throwing up that morning, got myself together, went down in front of the police and the FBI. Came up to me at Wood Forest on Walmart 62. For every idle word you're telling us, I'll turn on you. Try to leave Dave, I'll list you a child molester. I'm like, who are you? You know that bruise on your leg? I use sodium pentothal on you. No, he stuck me with a hypnotic drug. You know what you told me? Never seen him, never talked to him. He stabbed me in my sleep. He said, you said you were wearing this one nightgown. You bent over and probably once accidentally seen your butt and you had a life of pain, and I'll list you a child molester if you try to leave Dave. What do you say? He worked for Dave, and he was drugging me up and telling me to say lies. Went home to a legally bugged house. Dave debunked. I was dressed modestly, and they only made fun of the back of my knees. That was their plan if I didn't die. They thought the FBI was so fucking stupid they could walk in their office with stalking tapes of photoshopping and washing and hypnotic drugs and told to say it, and a fake dirty doctor breaking HIPAA in there with people saying they're trying to kill me because some idiot called me a faker. And like they would hand them money and defraud me. Now, these people lie all the time. They lied on my son John. Oh, John verified it for Will, one of the rapists. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. July 26, 25, an investigator from 18 came in 8 to 10 in the morning, Walmart 62. I told that couple never to say a word to her again. I interviewed John years ago, 18. He said nothing bad ever happened to him. June 7th, 25, investigators were outside. They had went to Dr. Haben, the kid's pediatrician, from 1984 to 2002, seen him 3 or 4 times a year, that there was no sign of any abuse, no sign of neglect, and they were very well taken care of. June 3rd or 4th of 23, the electricians pull in from that live in Louisville in their vans. Hey, that's John's mom. He said that she's never hurt anyone. And because of these people, he may never see his mom again. I know. And he said she never hurt anybody. That's what he told the FBI employees. Up on 23, up on Forest Grove Drive, one of those idiots were out there. I asked John about this open-end comment, didn't make any sense. He said, told me to mind my own business, started screaming at me. Then he said, I don't answer anybody's questions. I wanted him to explain because it didn't even make sense what was being said and on the conversation. And he said he don't explain nothing to nobody, and he screamed at me. I bet he did. If you wouldn't have had a bunch of drug dealers around you, he probably would have punched you. Realizing what you were doing to me, those drug dealers. First the case, they said, bring the other John in to get away with this. This guy taller than John, thicker, but looked similar, had a full beard, walked by, put his nose up in the air. Okay? Well, May 24th, 26th, Myers, North Main, North Canton. I told Carl about that. The guy walks ahead of us, and I said, see that guy that looks similar to my son John, but he's more shaven? He said, yeah, he does look like that picture. He was with a white girl with black hair. They walk in. I said, that looks like the guy that had a fuller beard that they used as a pretend John. And he walked up to me and while Carl was shopping, went, "How did it go years ago?" "Oh, yeah." And he put his nose up in there. The girl got on the phone. How stupid were they bringing up pretend John in here in front of the police and FBI to verify everything? They always knew. They made everything up on her. Oh, they were making fun of her because Agent John stole her money. See, that's a whole thing they're all laughing about, because if the FBI don't pay me, their drug dealers get released and they can sue them for millions of dollars for them defrauding me. See what I mean? That's where it's coming down to this. Last year, June 13th, 14th, I was telling Carl about Thanksgiving of 18 that Melissa's kids got taped in the basement saying they made everything up. They were games of pretend. And they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa. When I went to John, I asked him, he said he didn't know. Melissa, his ex-wife, was going to have the kids lie because he told them that I was going through a divorce, going to be moving out, but don't worry about it, Mom. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too, but don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. I said you shouldn't have said anything until it happened, but I did. Since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. He shoots me. Well, years later, Melissa pulled a mean stunt of sneaking in his house, hiding after their divorce. He comes out of the bathroom. She lunges screaming at him. He shoved her being starved. "Now I got you." Had him arrested for domestic violence. That's not domestic violence. That's breaking and entering. And he lost his kids, and a year later, he asked me to be a reliable name on a court record to pick up his kids from school. I couldn't help him because I was working 2 jobs. I didn't get off the first one, let alone the second one. He's pleading, "But if you're not that reliable name to help me, Mom, to pick up those kids," he said, "I'll lose my kids forever." "I am so sorry, John. I can't help you. I'll lose my apartment. I barely make it now." He lost his kids, moved to Florida, met this new woman, married her, started a church, and they have a child. Looks happier than ever. Had to get away from that occult. They were talking about it on June 7th, 26th in Walmart, West Tusk. People in there. June 13th, 14th, and 25, people pulled in katanas when I told Carl about that. They said if John's in Florida, been there for years, who's been right around asking him to help kill her? They had somebody impersonating him. Some guy walked by my work that night. Could hear him roll out, "If John's been in Florida, who have I been talking to?" My office. Oh, someone, they impersonated him. It's a big scam. Just like they blamed Danny and Jen for the tape of Weird with Yourself, they didn't know. I went to them Christmas Eve of 22. They didn't know anything about body cameras. They knew I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out, and been going on all summer long of 18. They did not know about body cameras or any tape of a shower scene in the other room. They're laughing at me in front of people in stores to make me look weird. They didn't know about drug confessions and having me be raped under drugs. They knew I had bruises and throwing up and almost passing out, but they weren't part of it. I kept going over and asking questions. April 16th, 23. After Jen's mom's memorial service, Danny walks up to Gabe, my grandson, said, "I finally went to Dad, asked him what on earth is going on." He said he had hired some guy named Pete on his own. It was Pete and his men in her home before. Pete has a frame, Pete has a tape, the filthy, dirty statement. I've never met him. The name of my rapist. Just some guy he hired. There's a drug cartel in my home before. January 12th, 22, 4:55 p.m., Officer John stopped men at the door. What did those kids get taped stating? They made everything up. October 5th, 21, Huntington Bank, I'm with a client, and they're talking about Melissa and her kids lying. And they said, and we went to leave. He said, "Who's that crazy Melissa? They talk about lying everywhere we go." I said, "My ex-daughter-in-law friends with ex's girlfriend had the kids make up some mean games of pretend on Thanksgiving of 18 and in front of the police." And he said, "Is she crazy?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "They're still talking about that girl lying. It's been years." Okay. May of 21, the Stark County Sheriff's called some guy named Kurt Slow if he just found out those kids were lying. June 23rd to July 4th of 21, Mount Carmel, Illinois, they were calling down there, pulling their scam and people were calling me bad names, so I yelled out the Massillon police number. The whole street went quiet, and they yelled out, they said they're documenting me games to pretend she never hurt anyone. March 23rd, 23, 2 agents walk in. We told these people to stay out of it. She's never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. It was some lady thought she could make money out of it. That lady showed up at the Louisville police May 30th, 25 at 1 o'clock in the morning. How she was going to trick Melissa and Dixie to put their name on it so they get arrested, and thought she could trick me out of a bunch of money. They found the original case. My ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. One was saying he was an attorney. So it made it legal. No, it didn't. It made it worse illegal. They're documenting me jokes. No, nobody went to the hospital. There's no police report. There's no pictures of injuries. There's no prosecution. There's nothing, because they're mean jokes. They were sitting around laughing, making it up behind my back. 2 guys said they worked for the drug lord, said that Melissa was going to help them get away with it. They were willing to have the kids lie. So they started following Melissa, and they caught her telling the kids a lie, and the kids taped stating they made everything up on Thanksgiving of 18. It's a scam. The stupidest scam on earth. But today, did it stop somebody from calling me a filthy word? Where'd you get your information, fucking retard? From the drug cartel? You fucking retard. You know, December 18, 24, I walk into Walmart 62. And they said, they said she has charges. Somebody else said it was a drug cartel. We called up to the Ravenna courthouse. There's nothing against her. They said it's a drug cartel. That's where Officer Mark told a lady that it's documented and verified I was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before they seen him. So people are calling me dirty names for a drug cartel stunt. Of drug confessions, photoshopping and washing, and mean games of pretend. How stupid are they? A bunch of retards. December 1st, 25, Walmart 62. The other Michelle that told an agent that the doctor from before was not one of mine works for them, and they had lied, and when they bashed in my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. And it didn't work. And as soon as they told her, he broke up with her. Well, they threatened to kill her. So she went badass on him. December 1st, 25, that Michelle had went to an investigator. He walked into Walmart 62. Michelle showed up, and my office said this whole thing is a scam to extort money from the government. Her ex-husband was involved. They all were. They wanted to trick the FBI out of money. And that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. He was one of her doctors. And she doesn't know who he is. And that guy Pete running his mouth about her, she don't even know who he is. It's just some guy Dave hired on his own. And these people admitted to using hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. She has no memory of those people. I thought the well water was killing me. Thought it was giving me cancer. I never had anybody in my home. They're talking about some serial rapist that was hiding behind doors, reaching out and stabbing me with injections. I thought I got bit or stung by something. Go over and sit down, take a drink in the room, goes dizzy and black, come out. I got bruises on me. I thought I was dying. And here I'm being drugged, beaten, raped in my own home. They're talking about some fucking rapist. They're making fun of me for some fucking rapist. They used hypnotic drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. The tape of Weird With Yourself is nothing but photoshopped of washing in the shower. The whole thing is a scam. But did one of the scammers show up and yell something at me today? Yeah. Because they're a bunch of fucking retards. You know, that's where Ohio is the center of people, the fraud schemes. Because a bunch of fucking retards live here. Thinking people can break in your home, set up button cameras. They could be hired to do it like it'd be legal. Nixon couldn't even bug an office. He was president. You have a right to privacy in your home. Oh, just like they have the right to drug you to get the truth out of you, where they drug you up and tell you to say something stupid. They can beat and rape you in your home, and the rapist can steal money from you. The people around here are retards. Or mean jokes. Or photoshopping washing by rapists. And it's just like no man in the United States can tell you you can't say anything but a judge in a jury trial or a grand jury. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent if he tells an informant if they say something, they don't get any money? It is blackmail, extortion, theft out of the government, crime against the government, United States for theft out of the government, obstruction justice, and tampering with a witness. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent if he tells an informant if they say anything, they won't have any help? It is attempted murder, aiding and abetting crimes, obstruction justice, and tampering with a witness. This is the United States of America. We have rights. And when people stop throwing the rights down the toilet for drug dealers to scam people, maybe they'll wake up and realize how not funny it is. Those people are the human traffickers, and they're laughing because if the FBI, like Walter said from the prosecutor's office, used to work there, because that agent purposely didn't pay me, and where he told on me he doesn't have the authority to ask anybody, tell anybody they can't say anything. Then he's already told on me. He's even recorded on a recorded line that he's met with everybody. Everybody knows. And then it becomes stupid. And then it becomes a federal crime of blackmail. If they don't pay you, Karen, and make it a legitimate case, and that they weren't defrauding you themselves, and they don't stand up for that case, that it was a legitimate case, that surveillance could get thrown out and every drug dealer could walk and they could sue the government for tens of millions of dollars. It actually could happen. The FBI needs to work swiftly. They need to pay you and they need to stand up for that case. "14th Amendment, no money, no assets can be seized but due process of law. No U.S. citizen can withhold any protection from any jurisdiction. 7th or 8th Amendment, no money, no assets can be seized. They cannot be, per documented injury, set amount, not by a judge, but by an impartial jury. Where they lie to people, that they had a judge sign everything over to them, the judge would go to jail. You get money for if you work 5 minutes of the case or you work the whole case. You get it for the rest of your life, for risking your life for the government information, and you're in immunity for life. And see, they can't just steal your money. It's an extortion ring, a large one. And the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the White House is having them go after this. They have stolen $8 billion from the U.S. citizens. Yeah. And there's a big center in Ohio. Because people are retards here. And they go along with big drug scams because they're stupid.